billionaires, they're out there, riding around on surfboards and borrowing millions like it's spare change for their yacht's vending machine. While the rest of us see a $200 credit card bill and start Googling how to live in a van. Well, for the rich, debt is just like playing 4D chess. See, they have loads of expensive stuff. Now, instead of selling those things for cash, they use them to get a loan. They go to the bank and say, hello, I've got a yacht and a Picasso painting of my dog. Can I borrow money using it as proof that I'm rich? And the bank says, of course, we love lending to people who clearly don't need it. Then rich people take that borrowed money and buy even more stuff. And the best part, they still get to keep their old stuff. You might wonder, how does spending borrowed money make them richer? Well, because the things they buy usually make them more money. Things like property, companies, or NFTs. Just kidding, NFTs are And here's the clever part. The profit from those investments can be used to pay back their loans. So they end up richer, own more things, and still have the original stuff they started with. On the other hand, normal folks like us borrow money to pay for things that lose value. Things like cars, vacations, or art degrees. And that's not even the most annoying part. Because loans aren't considered income, billionaires can borrow millions every year and pay no tax on the extra value of their things, like stocks or property. They pay some interest on the loan, sure, but it's way less than the tax they'd get slapped with if they sold their stuff. For example, a wealthy person might borrow at 5% interest, while the tax on selling their stuff could be 20%. Let's see how this plays out. Let's say you have a pet alligator named Brenda, and her value has gone up from $0 to $200 over time. If you sell Brenda, you'd owe 20% of the $200 to Uncle Sam as a tax, so $40. And that leaves you with $160 and no alligator to impress your friends at parties. So instead of selling Brenda, you hit up your friend Angela and say, hello, can I borrow $100? You promise to return the $100 plus 5% interest later, so $105. And if you flake on the payment, Angela gets Brenda, who's worth $200, as your guarantee. Angela's like, sweet deal, because she's not dumb. So you get $100 in cash, keep Brenda, and use the $100 to buy a banana stand, because there's always money in the banana stand. Then it starts raking in $100 a day. In a week, you've got $700 minus the $105 you owe Angela, and you're still chilling with your alligator. Not a bad week. Compare that with selling Brenda and being taxed. Borrowing with interest makes more money. This is basically what rich people do, except with more zeros. Take Elon Musk, for example. The guy's got more Tesla stock than I have existential crises, and that's saying something. Reports say he's borrowed billions against his shares to fund everything from Twitter deals to probably a spare rocket or two for SpaceX. Instead of selling his stock, he can use them as a guarantee, keep them, and watch his assets grow while he's tweeting memes. You're probably thinking, wow, that's a scam, but it's 100% legal, so I guess we're all just playing the game wrong. Now, let's see how this debt game is a golden ticket that keeps their whole family tree dripping in wealth for generations. See, when a billionaire eventually shuffles off to the great country club in the sky, his kids don't just inherit his vineyard and startup shares. They inherit the whole debt money printing playbook. See, the tax system has another loophole that's basically a love letter to the ultra wealthy, the step up in basis. Say the billionaire's stock was bought for $1 million, but is now worth $50 million. Their kids inherit it, and the tax on that $49 million gain, gone. They borrow money using those stocks as guarantee, buy more money-making stuff, and keep the cycle going forever. And don't even get me started on trusts. The ultra-wealthy set up these legal fortresses to shield their assets from taxes, creditors, and sometimes even their own messy divorces. They park their money in trusts that churn out income for their kids, grandkids, and their grandkids' grandkids. This is why the rich don't just stay rich. They get exponentially richer. Banks love lending to them, the government loves all the money entering the economy, and we're stuck doing pointless BuzzFeed quizzes about ramen. So next time you hear about a billionaire taking on debt, don't picture them sweating over bills like us. Picture them moving pieces on a chessboard, turning loans into empires, and passing the board to their kids, who'll keep playing the same game.